What's up, guys and girls? We are at, where are we, Warren?
We're at Power Core Rods in Lake Pleasant, Florida, but we call this the Cabbage Shack.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Guys, I want to introduce you to Warren Page, the owner of Power Core Custom Rods, man. Warren, we are here. You kind of gave us a little bit of a tour of your shop here where everything goes down, man. The rods are made, the rods are designed.
yeah, so just kind of don't mind the mess. It's a creative mind is just messy. I have to live in chaos or stuff doesn't get done.
Yeah.
So I make handmade handles over here and do most of my wrapping on this side. I have my thread art, I call it, back there in the back, and I got toolboxes here that's loaded down with everything from epoxy to handles to guides to real seats, you name it. And then I got blanks stored everywhere. So yeah, so anything you want, if I don't have it, I can get it.
Well, that's awesome, man. Awesome one. You know, I want to talk a little bit about these 5 rods sitting in front of us here. Warren just made me 5 brand new rods. He actually dropped them off at ICAST. We met each other up there at ICAST, and he had them for, you know, almost like a kid in a candy store.
That's right.
Christmas in July came early this year. But I want to show you these rods, and let's start out with the one of the best right here, and I want you to take a look at this. Now this is a flipping stick. Talk a little bit about this flipping stick, Warren. And as you can see, he actually put one of my bait and tackle sponsor on this rod with their logos, so I could represent them as well as Power Core when I'm on the water. But check out the craftsmanship in this rod. But what goes into making a rod like this, Warren? I'm assuming it's a lot of time, and really a lot of time goes into these things to design them anyway.
So what I did, this is a 15 to 30 pound. It's a slow mod action that gives a little more whip to get to me. It helps with the hoisting and everything. It is skinnier, lighter, but with a powerful backbone. These are a company I met in February. They are USA made, veteran owned. This is their synthetic cork, and they make them there in Washington State. And the E-seat is the same as the P-seat. It gives a little flare to help hold your hand a little bit better or fit in your palm better, and comes with a 3K carbon insert, and but the synthetic cork is as light as EVA, but it lasts longer, it's stronger. I just like the look of it, the feel of it, and I try to make rods as light as I can with big backbones. That's what I concentrate on, and I always use the microwave eyes, unless I'm building a swim bait rod, which I use Tide Forge ceramic inserts. I love these because they're like old school. They're stainless steel inserts instead of ceramic. And I have captains I built for 10 years that nothing pops out, nothing gets frayed, and the only ceramic part I do is the tip, just to make it a little easier on the braids and everything at the end. So, and I always put the hook keep underneath for all you bait casting guys. Yeah. So that's basically that in a nutshell. 7'10". I like the 7'10" to 8-foot flip sticks. Yeah,
this. You know what? Myself and Colin was out on Esteboga today. I put this rod to use for the first time, and actually jacked a couple fish on this rod out of the thickest bonnets you could think of. And I mean, I got them up to the top and almost boat flipped them out of the thick bonnets with this flipping stick, and they were a couple 3-pounders, so not small fish, but it was able to do its job. And one thing I like about the power core rod, especially like this flipping stick, you got the impressive backbone throughout this rod, but you have a more polybolical, a little bit sensitive tip. But you got the polybolical action, which will eliminate you ripping hooks on the hook set or blowing holes in the fish. But not only that, if that fish decides she wants to dig, it's not going to, especially like on a big fish, when you set up, you're close to the boat, she decides she wants to dig down on you, you're not going to rip that hook out because you got that polybolical tip that will actually follow the fish. But with that being said, you still got that big backbone in it where you can control that.
And I'll just give you talking about the tip and everything, the softer tip.
Yeah.
So in saltwater, which I'm a saltwater guy, but I know bass stuff too, but saltwater, when you have a softer tip and you're trolling, you will have more hookups with a softer tip than you will a fast tip or a stiffer tip. And it kind of works the same way in this instance.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because when you get a softer tip with the right backbone in the rod, it allows the fish to be able to load up on your rod, and that's what you want. You want to be able to have that fish load up. There's too many fish lost because you got too stiff of a tip. Well, the fish eats, the rod basically just about pulls the hook away from the fish because it doesn't get that load up time for that fish. And that's why a lot of fish are missed, because it doesn't have that load up time. You want the fish to load up on that tip and then pull back on her.
And yeah, and this is why I built this one. The first one I built for you was more of a stiffer tip, 20 to 40 pound. This 15 to 30, to me, it's lighter and with that softer tip to help you.
Exactly. And when you're flipping, you're flipping pretty close. You're flipping a 65-pound braid. So, most of the time, them fish hit it so quick, they load up on that rod. It was too stiff of a tip. It's going to pull the bait right away from it. It's not going to give you the reaction time to be able to react to that fish. When that fish loads up on it, it gives you a little bit more reaction time to pull back. Less fish lost. So, all right, awesome, man. Love it. It done its job today, really big time. I'm excited about getting out there and doing some more work with it. Let's talk about this one right here.
So these, I just want to let you know, I mean, I built for Norma for the last year.
2 years.
2 years now, and called him up and said, hey, you know, we need to match your boat this time. And that's what we did with the yellow and black. Matches pretty good. And we had to put Deck Talk on there, and had to put that logo on. So this one is one of my favorites. It's kind of general purpose worm rod. You can use it for frogging too. It's a medium heavy, 10 to 20, 7'3". Same thing. I didn't do the EC, but it's the PC. It just has that. It was a new design by American Tackle that I like, it's the same synthetic cork, and I mean, that's basically just a general purpose.
All right, Warren, let's talk about this spinning rod right now. Colin and myself went down to Everglades yesterday, and this is the only rod I actually used. I used two spinning rods. I used the spinning rod that I had from you, because I was using one with 30-pound braid for the top water, and then we threw a bunch of light bait, small shiners, and I had this rigged with 12-pound fluorocarbon. But we literally jacked peacock with this all day long. Let's talk a little bit about this.
So this is. It's my multi-purpose, basically, spinning rod. It's an 8 to 15 pound. It's made with my light saltwater blank. Because it has a backbone that can get fish out of grass and everything else. Even though it's an 8 to 15 pound, it has got a backbone that can handle most of your big bass. but it's, you know, soft enough up here for, you know, doing jig stuff. A new feature that American Tackle come out with is aluminum body that I like doing now for these reel seats. Aluminum body, it does have, you know, the regular graphite and stuff, but you know, a little bit stronger, a little different, a little nicer. But yeah, that's basically what I use for a lot of my South Florida peacock bassin. Usually the 7'6" because it has a lot more whip where you're throwing live bait out. But I use the 7 foot for you know, most of the bass spinning stuff.
I'll tell you what, we caught a lot of 4-pound peacock yesterday, which if I had to rate fish versus fish, peacock against largemouth bass, those 4-pound peacock were every bit as powerful as a 9-pound bass.
Yeah.
And that spinning rod worn, I mean, it just jacked them, had no trouble with them. The tip was perfect.
Yes.
Because you again, that polymolical tip.
Yes.
But the backbone in the spinning rod was just amazing.
Yes.
But you still had that tip, especially for the powerful peacocks that we were catching. I mean, the rod was just.
If I need spinning rods tested, I take them on peacock bass because, I mean, like you said, you catching a 4-pound peacock is like catching a 9-10-pound bass with the jaws. The jaws are so powerful.
Right.
All right, so we're going to talk about this one. This is probably my favorite rod. I have one that I call I could probably call it the purple porpoise over there. This is the crankbait rod, 10 to 20 medium heavy. It has got a lot of whip to get those crankbaits out as far as you want to get them out. But it's got the backbone like the mag bass. And that's what makes this thing different, and it's light where you can cast all day and you're not going to get wore out. And that, I would just say, I know I have a captain that has caught a 100-pound tarpon on this same blank. Now, you got to learn, I mean, you got to have a captain that can run the boat to it. Yeah. But his clients were just amazed at how it held up. And so if it can do that, it can handle just about any bass you want to handle.
That's insane.
And then this last one, I just kind of threw this in there. We didn't talk about what you wanted, but I have a client. His name is on YouTube is Florida Bass Paddler, big kayaker, and this was the last rod I made him, and he says he couldn't be more happier. It's just a 6'8", a little shorter, 10 to 17 pound, and I just thought Norma would like this for, I mean, what little chatterbaits and stuff like that. I just think it's a nice little all-around short rod.
Yeah, you know what? That's awesome, man. Warren, whereabouts can people look you up? Where can they go on and check out the rods and see what you have, see what you can build, and most importantly, get in touch with you if they wanted to order a rod or buy a rod?
So my biggest thing I do with Powercore is, you know, I like to build for captains. I do private label stuff for people, for bait stores, for tackle companies or lure companies that want their own brand. So I'm on Instagram at Powercore Rods. I'm on TikTok at Powercore Rods. I'm on Facebook at Powercore Rods. And my website is powercorerods.com. Now, I don't keep a lot of stuff in stock. I have a price list. You can go on there. I haven't put the warranty up, but I have a warranty that goes with every rod, being as it's all custom, but I have it broken down on painted, non-painted. I can do anything from matching your boat to the, you know, matching your favorite shirt, whatever you want. And but I mean, you can find me just about everywhere. And all of it's Powercore rods. I try to keep it simple, and that's about it.
That's awesome, man. You know what? I have an old saying when it comes to power core rods, Warren. If you could dream it, Warren here could build it. Just like the Deck Talk logo. If you have any logo you want on your rods, you want to personalize your rod with your colors. You're even able to do collegiate colors.
Yep.
If you're a football fan, basically whatever.
Man, I've done Tulsa football team. I don't get a lot of people asking for Tulsa, but I did Tulsa, so you know.
But if you could dream it, Warren here could build it. No matter what rod you want, what design you want, holler at Warren, Power Core Custom Rods. Guys, you could find him at www.powercorerods.com. www.powercorerods.com. Warren, love the rods, man. See y'all later. Sidelines and the passion.